From Tally to Cali,
it's time
to wake up.
Wake up! Wake up! Warchant.com is your ultimate Seminole sports source.
And this is Wake Up Warchant, fueled by DeLuna Coffee.
Coffee's for closers only.
Now here's Warchant.com's Aslan Hajavandi
and Corey Clark.
Wake up! Even at 6 in the evening, I can say that. I'm Aslan. He's Corey. Welcome on into this live edition of Wake Up Warchant, fueled by DeLuna Coffee. DeLunaCoffee.com. Come explore our world of coffee. Come explore their world of coffee over at Corner Pocket. 2 p.m. Saturday, they'll be bringing goodies to give away, including a Warchant bundle, which includes this awesome tumbler, as we would say up in Boston, as we root for Coach Full and the Noles to take down the Irish. You get the tumbler, you get some coffee, and then you also get, sea salted caramels, espresso beans, all sorts of awesome things. 2 p.m. Corner Pocket. Be there. Corey Clark will be there. Corey Clark's here right now, everybody. Corey Clark, how are you, man?
What's up, gang? What's up, Aslan? How you doing, buddy?
Good. What happened there 10 seconds ago? It sounded like a big racket was happening. I was just focusing on the camera. I didn't want to.
I don't know. I hope there wasn't a big racket. I might have moved the microphone accidentally.
All right. Right on. So we're here. Showtime. First one of the actual in-season vibes, Corey. They practice. First game practice for Notre Dame against 7:30 p.m. ABC Sunday. They're number 9 in the nation. I guess the news of the day, I got there a little bit late, not going to lie, working on some other things. Daddy took a little bit of a longer sleeping in that he could. McKenzie was out there, which isn't news. He's part of the team. Why would it be newsworthy? Guys on teams practice. So I got there for the end of things where they were running against scout teams. He did take the field with some of the scout team offense to go against the scout team defense. But I don't know if you would say it was with the 1s or the 2s or the 3s or whatever, but he was out there practicing. Nothing that, was like, oh, wow, potential Heisman candidate here, but he was out there. So that's an encouraging sign for the team.
Sure.
Jordan was out there as well, obviously. I shouldn't say obviously, who knows? Maybe he wouldn't be out there, but he was out there. So people want to know about quarterback. We thought maybe I think Norvell deked us a little bit in his post-practice interview, saying that he's like, by the way, we're gonna have an announcement to make later. And I was like, they're gonna announce who the quarterback is, but it was more important than the quarterback. Probably it was the way they're going to honor Coach Bowden this season and hopefully throughout the remainder of Florida State's existence, because they should. Right? Did you see some of these things? I'll pull it up right now. I love it. I love what they're doing for him, man. It looks beautiful.
Yeah, I haven't seen the image. I know they're going to do the helmet, and they're going to do the on both 25-yard lines, right? They're going to have the hat outline. I get it, man. I get why that became synonymous with Bowden, but so that's cool. I love that. That should just be there permanently. That's the one that I think should be there permanently. That's cool. For the people on the podcast, it's basically Bobby Bowden's signature on the lower back of the helmet. So yeah, that's cool. And nobody wears those crazy roller shoulder pads anymore, those neck rolls. So you'll be able to see them all. And then there's that thing. So I like it.
That thing.
It looks cool, but in my mind's eye, that to me is older Bobby Bowden. That's what that hat represents to me. Younger Bobby Bowden was wearing the Florida State hat with the white hat with the crazy logo, the Seminoles sweater, the garnet sweater that said Seminoles. That's more the Bobby that I remember growing up. I know that's what people think of him now, but he didn't start wearing that straw hat till Jeff was the OC.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's cool. When you see it, you think Bobby Bowden for sure, but and I don't know what else you could do. It's just me. I'm not even complaining. It's just, I think when I think of Bobby Bowden, I don't think of that hat nearly as much as I guess other people do.
Well, I was saying that a few weeks back about how all the photos that we use to memorialize Coach are him, when he was 78, 80 years old after his career was over coaching. Why can't we remember him in that awesome Seminole sweater with the white collar popping out of it with his awesome hair, why do we have to remember him with the starter jacket and the big logo on the game hat that he would wear? I mean, let's go to the early 80s to make what we think about him when we picture him in our mind's eye, as you said, Corey. But That's super cool. That'll be over, I think, the north entrance. I get them confused all the time. That's where the Chiefs used to come out. So that's a super cool little touch as well, too. I mean, it says field, so adorn it as much as you want. I like it. What do you folks think at home? Let us know. Post your comments on the bottom here.
It's cool, though. I guess I didn't want that to sound as like, oh, they've really blown this. I think that's great, and it's a perfect tribute, and it's a cool insignia. It's really a neat logo. It's just me being the guy growing up with Florida State. That's not the hat I associate with the guy. But doing anything to honor him is great, and that seems like something that, again, maybe that stays there permanently too. Maybe that's just not a 1 year thing as well. Maybe that just stays there permanently.
Yeah, I wouldn't complain about it. Let's see. I don't know. Like, is this what you're trying to say? I mean, is this the Bobby that you know?
That's still a little bit older Bobby. I'm thinking of like late 80s Bobby. But still, yeah. Look at that FSU hat. Just, I mean, I don't know that really says Bobby Bowden if you just did an outline of that hat. But yeah, man, that's a solid look. That's a solid look.
Oh, man. All right, we're taking your guys' comments, questions here on YouTube as well as social. First off, though, a shout-out again to T. Giddings, Thomas Giddings, a.k.a. T. Giddy, gave Corey and I these sweet shirts, FSU Ice Hockey Club. I would wear it, but there's some weird person who keeps commenting on all of our YouTube videos, not just ours, but like all of ours, everything that we put on Warchant TV, which you all should be subscribing to. That's this YouTube channel here. Also hit that thumbs up, everybody. It matters. It really does. Just click the button. But some guy's going into like Seminole headlines. He's going into our comment. Like, why aren't you guys more excited? If you're not going to be so excited, at least you can wear some team apparel. Like,
all right.
Oh, man, trying to tell me what to wear. I'll wear what I want to wear. You can't tell me what to wear. Unless you're like Ray Pereira and you drop bills on us and you're like, put the shirt on, Aslan. Then
Ray will tell you to do whatever.
I might reconsider that. Nonetheless, let's start with Gator Kirk, even though he's on the phone lines. We're going to go all audio on this, by the way. It just makes it sound cleaner, in my opinion. That's how we do the podcast. Anyhow, Gator Kirk says, have I asked Dilly if I could watch film breakdown with him at some point? What happened to Dilly's tagline? Corey, do you have a name for the running backs this year? What was his tagline? I don't know. What was his tagline? I don't remember his tagline. What was it, Gator Kirk? Let us know. I haven't asked him to watch film breakdown. Maybe that'll be an off-season project. I don't know if he'll let me do it in season, maybe before UMass, perhaps.
I think it's something you could do for the spring game, maybe.
Yeah.
Like in connection or conjunction with the spring game, I think that would work. Yeah, it's definitely something we want to do. And the beauty about this coaching staff is it certainly seems like they're going to be open to almost any idea we have. I mean, they're not going to say yes to everything. In fact, they've said no to a couple things we pitched, but we know going in, it's not just an empty ask. We know there's a chance they could say yes. And I think something like that would be really cool. Like going over a particular game with Dillingham and what they were trying to do, what happened, what worked, what didn't, and why would be really cool.
Or maybe just a drive, game-winning touchdown drive against the Gators.
Sure.
Cool.
Yeah. No, that's not a bad idea. Absolutely.
What's the nickname for the running back core this year? You've got a Corbin still, Jay Sean Corbin. You still got Toafili. You got DJ.
You got Trayshawn.
Sean's.
Yeah, it's not. You had Webb Toe. You had the Seagull last year because you had Webb and Toe. You had Webb Toe, Webb and Toafili. I haven't thought of one, Gator Kirk. Give me a minute. Let me see what the rotation's actually going to be, and I'll come up with something. But it's going to be tough to beat Seagull. And that was as good as it get. And then LaDainian had to up and leave.
There you go. Eric Angel's in the house getting this party started. Let's go. A little bit of that. Aslan, Corey, it's officially here. The season down to 3 days. Hashtag Acres days away. Hashtag Derwin. Hashtag James. Hashtag Derwin James.
Hashtag Bentley. Hashtag Scott Bentley. Hashtag Myron Roll.
There we go. Hashtag Jarvis Brownlee. 3 days for everyone listening to us on the podcast. Let's get Doak sold out. See you guys Saturday. $31 donation is how many points we're going to score on Notre Dame in the beatdown. Would you take 31, Corey?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. You put up 31, you're in the game. Okay. You hope. No. If you're not, there's going to be some serious discussions to be had the next day. But Eric, thank you very much, man. Thank you very much. We will see you on Saturday. Looking forward to it. And 31 would be, that could very well be enough to win. It's going to be right there, I think.
Yeah, I was thinking about that while I was at practice today, just about, I don't know if people think the defense is going to win or lose the game for Florida State on Sunday night, but you win as a team, you lose as a team. I know that sounds really cliche, but like if Florida 28 points is not enough. Like I don't know like what you expect in this day and age to win. I guess maybe 28 could be in a first week opener, but I really am curious to see how it works out because how bearish. Remember the opposite of bullish, Corey.
Right.
Everybody's on the defense because if the defense holds them to 28. I feel like that's not that bad. That's pretty good. And if you can't get 31, if you can't get 30 points to win a football game against a really good opponent, then like whose fault really is it? I don't know. We'll see how it works out. Hopefully we won't talk about it because it'll be a win. Hopefully it will be a win. Nonetheless, we carry on. Thank you, Eric. Rob Rathbun's here. Rathbun. I'm going to keep calling you Rathbun until you correct me. Say something, Rob. Say something, you coward.
Well, he has a message there.
He does. It says rest in peace to Coach Bobby Bowden with $100 on top of it.
Rob, thank you very much, man. That's very, very nice, man. Thank you.
Rob, let us know if you're going to be at Corner Pocket Saturday in the comments. You don't have to, RSVP with money. Just let us know. I think, Mark, you're out there. Let us know if you're coming. James B., Ray, I think Kirknell, which, Rob, thank you. For real. But this is amazing, Corey. This is a record. This is a record, I think, right here, everybody.
What? Oh, wow. Kirk Dog back in the house.
$300. Corey, $300. I retired.
That's it. He's walking off the set, walking out of the studio. Shane, man, that's crazy. That's crazy. Thank you very much, man. Thank you very much. You certainly have a seat at the table of pillars, or the pillar table, whatever we're going to name it. You deserve it. You get to sign that bad boy. Thank you very, very much, man. That's crazy.
He's on a work call. I can't listen. I just want to say, let's go. Aslan better be there for a drink on Saturday when we get there. Please, sir. I got to be there now. I got to be there. Go. All right. Yeah. You win, Shane. I'll put myself in harm's way for you guys.
Well, go sit outside, man. There's a big patio there too. You can go drink some brews out there.
I get cancer and secondhand smoke instead of getting COVID. Pick your poison. Is that what we're doing?
I thought you were trying to get people to go.
You're right. It'll be a good, safe environment, Everett. Shane, I can't. I mean, golly, that's a week's work. When I was living in Montana, working on television, making like $8 an hour. My
first job in Thomasville Times Enterprise, it was $320 a week. $320 a week. Shane, where were you? Where were you 23 years ago, buddy? Thank you very much, man. That's incredible. And even if Aslan isn't there, I'll be there, and I'll have 2 drinks with you to make up for the one he misses.
I mean, Corey's worth $2.99 of that. I'm just the dollar on top around.
That's true. Good point.
Shane, thank you so much, man. I mean, I can literally just sit here all day. If you want me to put the shirt on, let me know, Shane. I'll put the shirt on that T. Giddy sent to us. Incredible. Brandon Mack wonders, does anyone know if they're starting Travis? I'm sure
Travis J.
I'm sure. Yeah, Travis J. Right?
Yeah. And Collins Hill will start Travis Hunter this weekend. I think probably both positions, cornerback and receiver. Maybe the coaches might know, but nobody else does right now.
Let's see here. Corey, why did you trash Notre Dame yesterday? Did you? I don't recall. You're right. Notre Dame struggles against Bama. So does everyone else. The game Sunday is sold out and on national TV. Thank ND for that. Thank Notre Dame for that. Well, Corey D, are you a domer, bro? Is the D stand for domer, Corey D?
I didn't know I trashed Notre Dame. Yes, indeed. But I will agree again with myself that Notre Dame does struggle against Bama. It's a good point. Thanks for reiterating. I would say this. I don't believe Florida. I think Florida State's been on national TV a few times when in games that didn't involve Notre Dame. But you're right. The number 9 team coming down to Doak gives it a little extra juice. Be cool if Notre Dame joined the conference, but they won't. So good luck.
Zach Hart, $300 would change my life. It's going to change my life here. I mean, I'm so much more in a good mood now. Sugar Shane.
Absolutely.
I got to admit something, Corey, which I don't want to admit. I'm taking enjoying this one, but I didn't get around to reading your column about Florida State and their standing and the overarching power structure that is college football and them not we won't be the next Nebraska.
Right.
And then somebody commented like, not so fast. We haven't seen the way that we're going to open our season. To which I'm kind of like, all right, touche. So what was the crux of that? Because
the crux was pretty simple. Florida State right now has the number 3 recruiting class in the country. Nebraska's is 65th. Well, look, man, it's Nebraska. 25 years ago, 30 years ago, not every game was on national TV. Nebraska was one of the top 5 programs in the country because they were one of the most visible. They had been one of the premier teams in the sport for 3 decades. You could sell that to a kid in California. You could sell that to Texas, a kid in Texas. Right now, man, Nebraska, none of these kids know who Tommy Frazier is. So the days of Nebraska being dominant are long. I don't know how it turns around because it's going to be really hard for them to recruit kids out of Texas. They won't be able to put together staggering recruiting classes. Florida State, with the right coach, can turn it around and become a power again pretty quickly. Nebraska, I don't know if you could turn that faucet back on. You know what I mean? Like it's been 4 or 5 coaches now. And the same thing, they got the guy they wanted. They got the guy that turned down Florida State and Florida, a guy that's from there, that knows the program, knows the position in the state, who to recruit. He has contacts. It doesn't matter. They're not going to Nebraska anymore. Those days are over. I think if Florida State has a good coach, they will continue. They will come to Florida State. And again, Nebraska could never dream of a number 3 recruiting class from this day forward. I don't think. I just don't see it happening. So that was my reasoning. It really had nothing to do with the Illinois game. It just has to do with all these people like, Florida State could be the next Nebraska. It's like, no, Florida State has a lot more going for it than Nebraska does. And Nebraska is a great fan base. I love when it's really good. I was a fan of Nebraska when they were playing certain teams. It pains me. I don't like it. I'm not dancing on their grave. They've been in the Big Ten now for how long? A decade? What's that mattered? All that extra money, what's it mattered? It doesn't. They can't recruit. They can't get players there anymore because the landscape has changed. And competing for championships, being on national television, it doesn't matter because every game Texas Tech plays is on television. Every game Oklahoma State plays is on television. That didn't used to be the case in the 80s. So anyway, that was my thought process.
By the way, Lords, yes, the game is Sunday, but we're having the Friday. There's something going down, 5:30, Bannerman Road, Horizons Bar and Grill. And then Saturday, there's also a larger, I guess, umbrella of the Warchant family party. So that's how we roll. I want to clarify one thing as Robert Satter comments on Facebook about the depth chart saying Jordan Travis or Mackenzie Milton, but considering Mackenzie only practiced today with the scout team is interesting. I got there for scout team work. He wasn't. So when I say he's with the scout team, he was with the scholarship offense going up against the scout team defense.
There you go. You need to clarify that, big guy. They're like, what? Milton's our 4th-string quarterback?
Yeah, no, he wasn't. Yeah,
he's playing the role of Jack Cohn.
Yeah, no. So, but Jordan was also in that same role. Chubba was also in that role, running with the scholarship guys against the scout team defense. So it's hard to put too much stock into what that means, but it is a development nonetheless. So figured we'd send it off to you. Rob liked your little joke about Travis J. So shout out Rob.
Yo, Rob.
Here, Rob. Pronounce this name, Corey. Caleb says that he lived in Montana. Can you pronounce that city's name?
Helena?
Attaboy. I used to
Not Helena?
I thought it was Helena when I first moved there, but it is Helena.
Yeah.
Let's keep this thing moving here on Wake Up Warchant, fueled by DeLuna Coffee Live here on YouTube. Also, your Thursday podcast. Hit that thumbs up. We surely would appreciate it almost as much as this. Get down or lay down. $20 in the jar. Thank you, man. Says I couldn't send this last show. I said I'd come through the next show. Love the content. We love you, man. Thank you, man. You got a comment, question? Let us know. We're here for you, folks. Thank you. Get down or lay down.
Got that Dion. He had that Dion emoji too, or that Dion avatar.
Yeah,
like that.
Nice. Marcos Santos, how encouraging would it be if we return to kickoff or punt return game 1 of the season? I already like Norvell and the staff, but that would definitely make me believe more.
What is get down or lay down? I agree with that, by the way, Marcos. That would be, and look, I think that special teams, they made strides, but they weren't nearly as good as they wanted to be. I think that might be where you see the biggest leap, maybe, with a whole year of it. Now, again, I know that's not going to get you guys too excited. You're not going to be frothing at the mouth. Oh, man, we're going to be a top 10 special teams unit. That's not going to get it done. But, again, when you're talking about believing in a coach, in a mission, and a vision, if this guy's vision and mission is to be great at special teams, if it really, truly matters to him, and you hover in the middle of the pack this season, not a great sign. But if he takes a special teams unit that was god-awful 2 years ago, like the worst these eyes have ever seen, and then 2 years later it's a top 10 or 15, that should give you some hope, man, that he has a vision, he sticks to it, and his plan can work. So let's reconvene about special teams midway through the season and what happens. They have not had a kick return at home for a touchdown since Leon Washington versus Clemson on a fateful Thursday night 19 years ago. So that was the last kick return they've had at home for a touchdown.
19, that's crazy. Were you there, Corey? Were you there for that game?
I was there. It was the only Thursday night game they've ever played, right, at Doak, at least in my lifetime, I think.
And
it was against Clemson.
Yeah, this will be the first Sunday game they've ever played.
Is it really?
I think according to Deckerhoff on the Norvell Collins show.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. They're usually Mondays, aren't they? Right? I mean, if they start the season on a goofy day, it's usually a Monday. No, but I was going to say, get down or lay down. Is that a saying that I should know?
I don't know. I guess either like get down with it or quit.
Okay. All right. Cool. I like it either way. GD or LD. Yeah. GDOLD. But thank you very much, man. Our lady, woman. That's very nice of you.
William McMillan, $5 in a super sticker. Thank you, William. Appreciate you, man. Thank you very much.
I only said that because there's that old saying from when I was a kid going to Florida State games. It was FSU one time and everybody would cheer. FSU two times, everybody cheer. FSU three times, everybody cheer. FSU all the damn time, and everybody would go crazy. I think that stopped about when the war chant came. Because you've never heard it, have you?
I've never heard it, no.
There's some old folks. Oh, sorry. There's some older folks watching this that might remember that. But, yeah, that was – I specifically distinctly remember it from my childhood. And actually, Bill McGroth, though, wrote a book called that, like FSU all the damn time. That's how big a cheer it was, and then it completely went away.
I know it's the Marching Chiefs thing. MCAT DT or whatever, I think. Marching Chiefs, MC.
Okay, all right, well, there you go. They're keeping it alive then.
They're keeping everything alive.
And they're going to be in the student section on Sunday night.
Yeah, man.
How about that?
About time. All right, Michael Wilkinson says Nebraska's done, in case anybody wondered. Michael says so now it's official. There's our guy. There's Mark. There's
Look at this guy.
Pillar. I see a pillar in the set. Let's go. Mark, 150. Let's go.
Too good, Mark. Too good, buddy.
Wake up, he says. I will be there, Aslan. All right, good. So put that down the RS. All right, I got to give a list of this to give to the boss.
Right.
Who's going to
be
the
pillar table reserve? You're gonna have a reserve seat at corner pocket. That's usually just for the international dignitaries.
Who's going to score the first touchdown for Florida State?
Jordan Travis.
Cam McDonald.
Oh, okay. All right.
Who makes the first huge play on defense? Jermaine Johnson?
Sure. Yeah, that's an easy one. Just to be different, I'll say the other one, Keir Thomas.
I'll change it. You say Jermaine. I'll say Fabian. Fabian blows.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Corey, will Ira really get mad if you have a few too many ultras at the Warchant parties? I will not be offended at all. Go Noles, FSU 30, Notre Dame 24.
Nice. 31 with 24 would even be more would be sweeter since that was the score they beat FSU in 93. You didn't watch that on Headlines. Ira gave me grief for the last Headlines appreciation party, which will be Friday evening, by the way, at Horizons Bar and Grill in Tallahassee on Bannerman Crossing. If you want to come out to that one as well, that's the Headlines/Warchant appreciate. We're going to be all over the city this weekend. But yeah, he's like, yeah, man, weren't you pretty drunk at the one we did 2 years ago? And I'm like, hey, Ira, were you judging? Sorry, I wasn't drinking, hot tea like you were and Diet Cokes. You know what I mean? Like he seemed very judgmental that I might have had a couple ultras more than normal. But I told him to mind his own business.
Yeah, maybe I'll show up later on. Make sure you're nice and loose.
Yeah. Well, let's be honest. You have to be a little liquored up to deal with Ira to make that worth having a conversation with.
Hey. Mark, thanks, man. We appreciate all the questions.
Thank you very much, Mark. Can't wait to see you, man. Can't wait to meet you in person.
Bringing the kid too, so that's good. That's good. We get this is the one I imagine that's gifted at golf, but just wants to hang out and not be an awesome golfer.
Yeah, that old chestnut.
Yeah, we'll do a little scared straight with him. We'll show him what life can be if he doesn't go down the right path. How about Red Houston, which sounds almost like a play call. Like Red Houston, Red Houston. How long do you see Mike Norvell with the program, long or short term? We don't necessarily have to answer that, but seeing that, Corey, just made me wonder, like when you do get to a program like Florida State, especially in this day and age, like how many your window, like I was looking at not Bronco Mendenhall, Kyle Whittingham, because when you wrote the Nebraska thing, we talked about the Nebraska thing. I was like, they need to get like a Kyle Whittingham. Like, because I felt like Utah was the buffer between Lincoln and California. Like all the guys that Nebraska used to get them now start to filter to Utah that would be from California.
Right.
And then I looked at their national championship winning teams, and there was a lot of Texas guys.
Yeah.
It was 7 California guys. It wasn't like an overwhelming amount. And they got a lot of guys from California right now at Nebraska, but I digress. And like
not good ones, not the ones you want to get.
Right. And I'm looking at like Kyle Whittingham, like he's had like an 11-win season. I think he had maybe an undefeated season somewhere. But maybe he went like 3 years in a row where I think they went like 6, 7, 8 wins. And, if Norvell next year were to win like 12 games, but then he goes 7, 8, 6, if Ogeron doesn't cut it here in the next year's at LSU, he's not going to last. Although who knows? Jimbo just got an extension for a New Year's Six Bowl, so who knows? Like when you've won you've won multiple national titles. You won 3 here in the modern era. Like how much time do you really get? I mean, it's really not a Mike Norvell Florida State thing, but just Alabama, Clemson, Ohio State. No one lasts long. So I don't know.
Yeah, I think Willie was a different type of example. I know people will always point to that. Again, it wasn't. We talked about this on Headlines actually, and I'm not going to talk about it for more than 12 seconds. But there were things going on behind the scenes, specifically recruiting. Honest, if we're going to be honest, which led people to believe it was not the people that matter. It was not getting better, and it was not going to get better. It wasn't like the cavalry was coming when Willie was fired. That recruiting class was tanking anyway. So what hope did you have? A normal situation where the guy does have his full allotment of assistant coaches, and he does have a recruiting class and structure and organization when it comes to that. Probably a recruiting cycle, right? Like I think you give a guy 4 years. And the question is, when you get to 4 years, if he's going 8-4, is that good enough at a place like Florida State, or are you wanting more? Because you don't want to fall into the Tennessee trap either, where Tennessee, it's like every 3 years they're hiring a different coach, right? And again, Tennessee, I might put in the same company as Nebraska. Like I don't know, man. I don't know that they get back. They're in a real tough conference, clearly, and they don't have a lot of talent in the state of Tennessee. They have to do a lot of recruiting from Georgia, and Georgia's getting all of Georgia kids right now. Yeah, Utah had some nice runs, right?
Well, look at that. Like if you go 13-0 at Florida State, and then
that's second 5 and 7, you're fired.
You're done.
Yeah, you're fired.
It's a crazy game. It's a crazy life that these guys have chosen.
Yeah, but and I agree with that. But you know what? That's what happens when you make 4 or 5. If Mike Norvell has a perfect season at Florida State in say 2023, his salary will double at least.
Triple. So
he'll be making $6 or $7 million a year. Well, guess what, Mike? Sorry, buddy. I know it may not be fair. You're not allowed to have a couple down seasons, but when you're making $7 million a year, that comes with it. That's part of the deal. That's how it works. By the way, I love Jimbo's new contract. Still no buyout. Yeah, but still no buyout. So if he goes to LSU doesn't owe Texas A&M anything. I mean, good grief, what are these presidents doing? What are these presidents doing?
Winners win, Corey. Yeah, I don't know, Red Houston. You talk about like 8 years, I'd take the under. Like if you put the over under like 8.5, I'd take the under on Norvell still being here.
It's I wonder with him though, because I don't get the sense, I could be completely wrong. I don't get the sense, and I'm really pie in the sky right now, that he wants to coach in the NFL. So, if he does well at Florida State, Is that something? And he doesn't really strike me maybe as an NFL coach. A little maybe too hands-on-y, maybe a little too stern. One of those guys, kind of like Jimbo, where I don't think Jimbo would really flourish in the NFL. I think that I don't know what he would leave for. If you're at Florida State and you're really good, look at him. He's got one of the biggest questions I had about Norvell was, could he recruit with the big boys? Yeah. It's easy to get 2 and 3 stars. If you're recruiting against Tulsa and Troy in East Carolina, okay, yeah, I'll come to Memphis. That's an easy recruiting battle to win. What about the kids that are being recruited by Alabama, Clemson, Florida, Michigan, all those? I didn't know that he could do that. And I didn't know if he was going to try to get Florida State fans to be like, look, these are all diamonds in the rough. They're diamonds, though. I know they're 2 stars and you're used to 4 stars and you're used to top 10 recruiting classes, but trust me, I'll work with these guys. They'll be good. I thought that was the direction he was going to take. And clearly, at least from this recruiting class, I was wrong. But he's got number 3 class in the country. That's very encouraging because he's never recruited at this level before. And so far, so good, right? The message seems to be getting out and seems to be working.
Yeah. He's got a different level of intensity that I didn't know was going to maybe work with kids that are getting, flourish with praise every corner and have offers from every major university. I'm like, I just don't know if that's how he's going to stack up to Saban or stack up to Dabo or, Ryan Day or fill in the blank. But, man, when you got guys like Travis Hunter believing in you like this and
Duffy,
all the guys, Duffy, the list goes on. It's pretty.
And, there's Marvin Jones Jr. that's still out there. There's the Armella kid, Armella. There's some big fish still out there. And, man, if you can show some improvement, if you can get to 7 wins and show these kids how much better this program has gotten in 1 year, 1.5 years, man, you could get a lot of kids in the boat. Where'd Aslan go?
Corey, what are we going to do?
Did you just – I don't understand. There's a Vax comment up there, and you ducked.
What are we going to do, man? What do we do when this happens?
Oh, there we go. That's what's going on.
Let's go!
That's great. It's like Shane was our plant just to get Ray mad.
What? $500! $500 from Ray!
He gets his own pillar. Ray, you're the best, buddy. You are the best.
Ray, what are you doing?
Ray, Aslan's going to corner pocket. He's going to corner pocket, and he'll sit on your lap for as long as you tell him to, buddy. He's there. He's not leaving until you leave. He's driving you there.
What's causing all this? Ray, what you doing to me, Ray? Good Lord. He just gave $500.
Ray, first ultra is on me, buddy. Well, probably Gene, let's be honest. But you're getting an ultra, my man. You're getting an ultra. That's what you deserve for that $500. Thank you very much, man. I know I'm not speechless because I'm yammering on like an idiot, but that should have made me speechless. Too much. Crazy. Crazy, our pillars.
What do, Corey? Do we just keep going? Do we just
pillars.
keep pretending that some guys didn't?
Yeah, I see it loaded up. Go to Josh's question.
Josh? Oh, look at you. Well, I got to scroll down. Oh, look, I like producer Corey getting all assertive. All the way. I'm just still, I don't know. I'm shell shocked.
Josh Corbs. It's in yellow.
Oh, I got you. That would have made it easy.
Sorry.
Josh Corbs, $10.
So my point there is, Josh, you're the man. Thank you very much. I want people to know you don't have to spend crazy amounts of money to get talked about on our show. Ray has been incredible this whole time and just continues to be. He's excited. Wait till this team starts winning again, Aslan. We're going to build beach houses. This fan base is just bursting, ready to give. Oh, by the way, speaking of, we did one probably 6 months ago. One of these live shows where everything went to charity. We are going to do one again. Don't think that we have forgotten about that. We would really like to. And in fact, I probably shouldn't be putting this on Front Street, but I don't care. That's what kids say, right? Front Street.
Yeah. I like
we want to do one with Warwick Dunn's charity. We're going to reach out to them. They are YouTube approved, which is very big when it comes to raising money. And so we'll keep you posted. But one of these live shows during the football season, we would love to be associated with Warwick Dunn's charity. I think it's Home for the Holidays, I think is what he calls it. You guys know what it is. The homes for the single moms. Deshaun Watson was one. that came up through that. I think he's 160, 170. I've lost count, but it's an incredible charity, and we'd love to work with him.
Read this.
Okay, so I'll read it. It's Corbs, right? Josh Corbs asked, the national media is almost guaranteeing KZ to start. If it's JT, should the fans feel happy for JT or concerned that KZ didn't win the job? Thanks, guys, from all the way up here in the Big Apple. NYC. Yes, sir. Sharp-dressed man, too. Look at that avatar. Is that
That's Warwick Dunn's charities. 194 houses furnished.
Right.
24 different cities. 92% of the families still in homes, man. What a dude.
525 kids have benefited from that. Man, that's just awesome. All
right, so
I wouldn't say that, Josh. I really wouldn't. The national media doesn't. If they're guaranteeing KZ to start, they don't necessarily know what they're talking about. Which why would they? They're not dialed in to Tallahassee right now. No, I don't think it should be a concern, but I could understand that. You didn't, when everybody got really happy about Mackenzie Milton signing with Florida State, committing to Florida State and being healthy, the happiness wasn't so he could signal in plays to Jordan Travis. So I get it. I can see why you'd be a bit concerned. I do think that they will both play a role this year. I don't expect Mackenzie Milton to regain his 2017 or 2018 form, but I also don't expect him to be James Blackman. I think he will serve a role on this team, and I think he'll make some big plays for this team this season. And it might come down to hot hand. It might be some gut feel when it comes to this quarterback position, because I think both these guys can play, and you can win with both of them.
Next question.
Yeah, it's a good question. It's a fair question.
Big Sergeant 08. Hey, guy, wake up. Do you think that if we have improved defensive line and secondary play, it will help our linebackers be less of a liability? Go Noles. FSOD beat ND. Let's go. Florida State.
Original demons.
Yeah.
Overlords.
Right. I mean, shoot, it's like if I've got a good personality and I'm really rich, but I have a lot of body hair, will I be able to attract the opposite sex? Probably. 2 out of 3 are all right. If your defensive line and secondary are really good, your linebackers, you probably will not be nearly as.
I feel like I can speak on that analogy with some experience.
Okay.
And just know, everyone, they'll look past it. Okay. They'll look past it a little bit if everything else is going okay. And I'm also trying to clean that up, by the way. There's some tools out there to help you with hairy body parts. Anyway, this isn't Manscaped. We're not doing an ad for Manscaped. Oh. But look, the linebackers are my biggest concern. It kind of was laid bare when we saw the depth chart, right? You looked at that depth chart and you're like, oh boy. You knew it wasn't a strength. But when you look at that depth chart, you're like, okay, you've got Lundy, who I know it's PFF. You can take that with a grain of salt. I think he graded out in the 40s last year when he played. He was not good as a true freshman. You've got Amari Gaynor, who's not really done a whole lot in his career to this point. And then I'm blanking. And Deloach, who's barely played. And then their backups are a walk-on from Maryland, who was a scholarship player at Maryland, so he's not a normal, typical walk-on. A guy that was playing safety 10 days ago. That's 5 of your 6 guys. Emmett Rice isn't available. So when you see it on paper, you're like, oh man, that could be dicey. But you hope that the guys have gotten better. Yeah, there's DJ Lundy grading out at 53.5, played 103 snaps. Kalen Deloach, second to last, but he played 86 snaps. So Dix played a heck of a lot more than that and was not good. So you don't have a lot of proven talent. Doesn't mean they're not talented. They just haven't proven anything. So you really do hope that Lundy and Deloach have taken a step. That happens, man. Telvin Smith, I'm not saying these guys are going to be Telvin Smith because they won't be, but that guy wasn't nearly the player as a true freshman as he ended up being his last year. That's makes sense. Nigel Bradham, just go down the line. Any of the great linebackers aside from Marvin Jones. By the way, Marvin, get that kid to commit anytime now. Any day now, buddy. They don't come and burst onto the scene as a freshman, so you hope they take a step. But that is a genuine concern. The defensive line has to be better and has to be pretty darn good because those linebackers could be a weakness, especially early while they're gaining experience.
Rob is back.
He's toying with you at this point.
Dollar bills, y'all.
50 from Rob. What up, Rob? Let's go, man. Rob, ask a question.
Or tell us if you're going to be in town one of these days. Tell us if you're going to be in town on this weekend.
Zachary Escalante, 10 bones. Thank you, Zach. Go Noles from the Big Apple. Look at that. We're branching out.
Man, NYC.
Wish I could make it down there to hang out with you all this weekend, but hopefully for our New Year's Day bowl game. Yes.
That would be, hey, from your mouth, Zachary. You can go hang out with Josh. He's in NYC too, man. I'm sure there's a Seminole booster watch party somewhere in NYC. I bet there's about 1 million Notre Dame ones.
Let's see here. That's a really long one. I'd like to bring it up. Oh, yeah, Wes. This is Wes from the Villages. Tells me, Aslan, don't forget to tell Corey about Wes Durham giving Warchant a shout-out.
Oh, nice.
A White Claw and an Ultra for you two on Saturday at Corner Pocket. Yeah, thank you, Wes. I mean, really appreciate that. He did say that Wes Durham during Packer and Durham gave, I don't think it was our show, but the website a shout out. So he's responding. Oh. He doesn't believe in Hammurabi's code. He doesn't go eye for an eye. He's Gandhi. Just puts his arms around people.
Hey, we go low. Wes Durham goes high, right? That's how it works with Wes Durham. Hey, man, like I said, I didn't say anything bad about him. I know he'd rather be talking to people other than lacrosse coaches. And yeah, man, he's my home team, my home NFL team's announcer, and he's awesome. He's awesome. Because I got XM, man. I listen to all these other NFL announcing crews. Wes Durham's the truth, man. He gives you the score. He's not screaming about some referee all the time. He's telling you down and distance and the time. He's awesome, man. He's really, really good. I like him a lot. So Wes, both Wes's, Wesley Todd and Wes Durham, I got your back. And Wes, yeah, you can get me an Ultra.
Robert Hennessy, will you give us one more win if we beat Notre Dame? All right, so if I think 6,
yes,
that becomes 7,
right? Doesn't it has to almost by the math of it.
Then would I go to 8? I almost feel like the question would be well, then would I go to 8?
No, if you're predicting 6-6 and they beat Notre Dame, does that change you to 7-5?
You got to be 8-4, I would think, man.
No, I think you still got some really tough ones out there on the road. But I think that's a game you probably aren't expecting to win when the season starts. So yeah, I think that gets you to 7. Yeah, I do. It would just change your perception of everything. If they could beat a team that did what they did to them last year and ran all over them, if they could come back the very next year and beat them, that gives you some hope. Man, what are we watching here? Is this a rocket ship taking off? So yeah, I think it definitely changes. At least 1 win. Yeah, you're right. Maybe 2.
If you're just joining us, everybody, by the way. Shane Kirkley is an amazing human being.
Kirk dog.
So is Mark. So are all of you. But then I'm like, this didn't work in your favor, I think, Ray. I think you thought you were going to get me all jacked up. I'm like emotionally spent. Like incredible. Let's keep moving. Let's see here. Zachary says, Mr. New York City, Norvell has to succeed at FSU before he can consider going elsewhere. Additionally, I feel momentum is swinging back to big-time college football versus the pros. See Jim Harbaugh, Chip Kelly, etc.
Yeah, no, absolutely. He has to win at Florida State. I was on the impression being, if we go with the hypothesis that he wins big at Florida State and has a 12-1 season or a championship season, ACC, national or otherwise, I don't think he's going to the NFL. I think it's going to be bigger schools that can pay more money coming at him, like an LSU or an A&M or something like that. But I don't know that he'd go. Again, man, I'm telling you, it can be pretty darn easy to load this roster up with talent. And the way the ACC is configured right now, I think configured is the word. It's pretty darn easy to get to 10 wins if you got loaded talent. So that to me, even you're making $2 million less living in Tallahassee instead of Baton Rouge, but you got a much better shot of winning 10 games. I mean, they're going to fire Ogeron after this season if he doesn't win, right? He won a national championship 2 years ago.
Yeah, maybe the best team ever.
Yeah,
that's just crazy.
Well, don't you think he suffers, and not as much as Jimbo did, but he suffers from, oh yeah, you won because of Burrow. Just like Jimbo you won because of Jameis. Different because Jimbo's much more involved in the game planning and the recruiting. But still, Jimbo still wears that. Jimbo still wears the only elite team he's ever had was with Jameis at quarterback.
Here, though, I don't think nationally. Here he does with Florida State fans. But
if they struggle this year, and struggle for A&M would be like 9 wins because they've got some talent. But if they get 9 wins again, that chirping will be a little louder. It's like, to have a great season, to have a championship season, you've got to have Jameis Winston as your quarterback. I'm not saying that's true or fair. I'm just saying that'll probably be that'll be the perception.
All I know is the last time Jimbo Fisher won the Orange Bowl with a fifth-year quarterback or senior quarterback who then left for the NFL and then had a redshirt freshman quarterback the next year, it worked out pretty good for him.
Yeah.
That's what he's got. And his schedule is pretty manageable. I mean, it is the SEC West, but it's fairly manageable, relatively speaking. So let's see. There's lots of good questions. I'm just trying to get my win back in my sales here. Everything just keeps popping all over the place.
I'll read Ben Westmoreland. It'll be hit. Why you popped that up? Oh, you weren't going to read it. You're just showing it up there for everyone.
Mark Armour, which side shows the most growth over last year, offense or defense?
Defense, because there's more room to grow. And Ben, I'll be there, buddy. I will see you Saturday at Corner Pocket. That's a tough one, though, because it's not like the offense was good. The offense had a lot of room to grow, too. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Everyone just paying homage, paying tribute to Ray. It's amazing. I love it.
Yeah.
It's great. I love my job. James B's here too. James B's like, don't forget about me.
Dollar bills, y'all.
I have to do something, he says. He could have just said hi. Can't wait to see everyone at the CP. Go Noles.
All right, James B. We'll see you again. It's been a minute. It's been like 6 days. Yeah, James, you didn't have to do anything, buddy. Your seat at the pillar table is there. It'll be warm. There'll be a pillow for you. But thank you very much, man. That's very, very nice.
By the way, FSU Dabs, a.k.a. Blackbird, says, Corey, you're vaxxed. I'm vaxxed. Blackbird, that is. We're obviously hugging it out the corner pocket. Save me and my boy Quinn a couple XXLs. Blackbird.
Probably one, buddy. We're not going to have a ton. Well, at corner pocket we will. Horizons, they'll be not as easy pickings. But yeah, we'll save you a couple, buddy. Get there as long as you're there by, I don't know. We got 200 shirts, don't we, Aslan? There should be enough for my man. And yeah, we'll hug. It's not going to be a long embrace, but we will hug. We'll hug. We just don't breathe on each other.
Thank you, James. Really do appreciate it. Let's go back to Marcos. Who do you guys think has the first sack, first forced fumble, first interception?
Who are the safeties for Notre Dame? The Hamilton kid?
Oh, hey.
I joke, guys. I kid because I care. Marcos, you know that. Look, it's got to be. You know what I'm going to say? I'm going to say Gainer with the sack.
Okay.
I think he's going to come on a blitz, a third down blitz. It's going to be like 3rd and 4. They're going to do a little play action. Cone's back is going to be to the. He's going to really try to sell the play action, and Gainer's just going to come free and sack him. That will also be the first forced fumble. And the first interception, I don't know. Keem Dent, he's going to catch one. He's going to catch one, everyone.
All right. Jermaine Coop on the fumble.
Okay.
And Mako Dotson interception.
All right. Okay. That's assuming there will be one of each of those. There were many games last year that were none of those 3 happened.
Well, I don't think Marcos is saying on Sunday, but just for the season.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, that still stands. My answer still stands.
Keeping things moving here. Yeah. Zachary, reading between the lines. Look at that. Context clues. Ryan Blakesley. I hope Gainer and the new Jermaine Johnson get some pressure on the quarterback.
Yeah.
You and I both.
That would be nice. And Briggs. I think Briggs is a guy that could do some things too.
Edwin Alvarez asked, do you think we will ever get back to the old school FSU defense?
From the 90s, no. It's hard to do that now. Even Alabama, man. Like Alabama has incredible defensive talent, right? But they, when they run into an offense that can throw, that when they run into a talented QB, a great QB, there's only so much you can do. I mean, Alabama had a ton of NFL players on that defense 2 years ago, and Burrow threw for like 900 yards against them. It's just sometimes. So I wouldn't have ever foreseen that happening to a great Florida State defense. Nobody's just going to go up and down the field on the 96 team, save for when they have the flu and the Sugar Bowl. But other than that, I don't know. I don't see that. I don't see losing, Boulware and Renard Wilson, and then the next year you got Wadsworth and Spires coming back. That's. I don't know that that's ever going to happen. But they can become good. They could be a top 20 defense consistently. They should be. It's crazy they're not. Wow. What is going on?
What are we doing? Let's go! Let's go, Corey!
I think we got a new pillar.
What's up, Jason Parker?
New pillar in the house. Jason Pillar. That's what we're going to call you from now on.
I love you, Jason. Love you guys. Go Noles. That's it. And then he's like, here's $300 American. Have a good day.
Man, what's going on, guys? So a fan base is excited. I feel like a Florida State fan base is really excited that college football is back.
I get to hang out with this guy. I get to talk about my favorite sports team. Why, you guys? I love life. You don't have to do this to make me feel better. I appreciate it, though. This is incredible. That's all I'm doing, Corey. I get to talk to like the most affable guy on a college beat about my favorite team. And then people are like, oh, it's pretty cool. You want some money?
Yeah.
Sure.
It's kind of the life I'm living. Not maybe with the most affable co-host like you get, but still, it's the life I'm living. Getting to talk about sports, getting to talk about Florida State football, and just watching the money rain down. Holy moly, Jason Parker. You think that's his wedding pic? And he took the tie off? Because he's out in the woods. You don't usually wear a suit like that if you're out in the woods. So unless you're like at a wedding, you're an outdoor wedding or something.
Let us know, Jason. I think he was attending a outdoor wedding, and that's him at the reception.
Okay, all right. That's probably true. Yeah, because it'd be weird if you took a picture at a wedding to make your avatar, and it's not you and your bride. It's just you without your tie on. So okay, that's fair.
Dan asks, what time are you going to be at Corner Pocket? I'll probably go around halftime, but he'll be there at 2. It starts at 2. Be there at 2. If you want shirts, if you want cool stuff, get there at 2.
What do you mean you're going to be there at halftime? Halftime of what?
I like to arrive casually late, fashionably late.
But we don't have what's our time? What halftime of our
Alabama-Miami game? It's a hate watch party.
I got you. I was confused. I'm like, halftime of our little event? Because I don't know when that is.
Hey, well, everybody, it's halftime now of the libations. Let's get Jeff Cameron out here.
I was going to say.
Marlon asks, are we more disciplined? Did we get those false starts out of our system last year? That's
a great question, Marlon. Dillingham, the OC, actually brought that up yesterday, said that the false starts in practice have been down. He said, no, they're still happening because they happen everywhere, was his excuse for it. We'll see, man. It's not crazy in practice. You don't see a ton of them in practice, but we'll see what it's like. A lot of these guys have never played with more than 11,000 people in a stadium. So we'll see how they handle 75. But yeah, for practice, they look disciplined. We'll see if it carries over to the game, but there will be a couple false starts. It's just the nature of Florida State.
I think it was 2 weeks ago they had some bad days. I haven't, obviously today was the first day of the week for them. I don't remember last week being all that messy in terms of execution and stuff. When I got there, Norvell was yelling at them to hurry up. It was the offense running against scout team defense. I think you just want to see a little more crispness out of them, but it was towards the end of practice. So I guess maybe that could be expected.
You asked Norvell, I think. Go ahead. Sorry.
The one thing they're practicing in that IPF way too much, I think, and they had no music on today, like no piped-in music when they're doing scout. I just felt, and they were doing that last week when they were running against scout team offense and defense. They had loud music piped in, which I was like, okay, if you're not going to practice outside and get that full force of the heat, I get it doing the IPF because it does sound much louder the way the acoustics work, and it makes it it feels much more urgent when you're in that IPF playing football. But there's no music playing, and it was like, well, I guess maybe this kind of will ramp you guys up because then,
I think this is probably more of an install day, a teaching day.
Yeah.
And then the dry runs that they're going to have, Friday and Saturday, they'll have to do it with music or crowd noise to get used to that. And I was going to say something, but I can't remember what it was, so it doesn't matter.
Discipline, false starts.
No, can't remember. It's all right.
Welcome to my world. How many times I want to say something and then you go on a tear and I'm like, forgot it. Anyhow, let's see here. Let's go to Ed. Let's go to Ed, man. It's Ed, y'all.
Oh,
It's Ed's
man.
Guys, this is a very special occasion. The Godfather himself has been kind enough to grace us with his presence. The Godfather. This is his damn house. He lives here. He sleeps 20 feet away.
Let's go, Ed. Ed Lemmix.
Too nice, Ed. Too nice.
He's the guy that does the Luna coffee, everybody. He's the one that's going to have some of these awesome tumblers, some of this great, delicious coffee, and some of those awesome sweet treats to give away at Corner Pocket 2 p.m. on Saturday. The website's thelunacoffee.com. The promo code's WarChant15. He'll give you 15% off just for being a Florida State fan. And he's a big-time booster.
And the coffee's great. Coffee's great. It'll snap you out of it of your funk in the morning and get you ready to go.
I feel so cheap, he says.
Yeah.
You guys are great. See everybody Saturday. You don't. And I see that check you cut every month, big guy, for that name on top of the screen there. You know, that costs money to get your name up there, everybody. You know, we just don't put anybody. Yeah, thank you, Corey. You're better at it than I do. Thank you, Ed. Appreciate it, man. And thank you so much for bringing some stuff out for everybody on Saturday. It's going to be awesome. They're going to be fighting over it. It's going to be like Roadhouse. It's like CP, people battling over the tumblers. Can't wait for it.
Right.
Let's see here as we scroll through these comments here on YouTube. Let me see here. Look at Casey Owens. Casey Owens, post your question. I don't want you to be upset. Let's see if I can find it here. Maybe post it on the actual website. He says he can't get his question answered on this chat. I'm trying to find it, Corey. Oh, there we go. There he is. Sorry, Casey. Would you rather go 5-7, undefeated in away games? Yes. Done. Yeah. Yes. Because that means you beat Clemson and Florida State. I mean, Florida. Yeah.
Yeah.
Next question. I'm just
All
right, Casey.
Man, then you lost to Jack State?
Casey Owens asked us, would you rather go 5-7, undefeated in away games, defeated at home?
Or 7-5, undefeated at home, losses away?
Oh, okay. So you're 5-7, undefeated in away games, but you're defeated at home, or 7-5, undefeated at home, and all of your losses are on the road.
Well, look, if you go into the Florida game 4-7 and then beat them in the swamp, that's a pretty good finish to a 5-7 season. But you really don't want to get used to not going to bowls, and you really don't want to get used to losing seasons. My personal opinion is it would be great if they won at Clemson and at Florida, but not in exchange for losing to Jacksonville State, NC State, Louisville, and teams like that. I just don't think so. Because at Florida State, what is the real difference between 5 wins and 7 wins? You know what I mean? Or 5 wins, you know what I mean? It's not a ton. So you might as well have a winning record. You might as well go to a bowl, get those extra practices. I think 7-5, you know, if you lose to – nobody's going to be shocked if you lose those games on the road.
Can you imagine if you beat Clemson, you lose to UMass, and then you go on the road?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I think if you lose to UMass and then beat Clemson, Norvell needs to be fired. Clearly, something's going on, man. What is your team can't be up and down like Kanye. You can't be that moody, man. Like, what in the world's going on? I assume Kanye's moody. He seems to have some outbursts here and there. But, like, you can't be that, schizophrenic. To lose at home to NC State and UMass and to beat Clemson and Florida in North Carolina? That's crazy.
Like, dump Powerade on him and then hand him a pink slip. Like,
that's for last week. You had this in you and you lost to UMass?
Carol asks, what player – oh, how'd that happen? What player do you feel will have a breakout role offensively this year? Same on the other side. All right, let's break it up. We'll piecemeal it out. Treshaun Ward, I mean, that for breakout, it's somebody that we really haven't seen anything from, and they were going to make an impact on football games. So it's either him or one of the freshmen, and I would probably say Ward. That's the answer.
So would Helton not count? He's never really had a breakout year. He had an okay year as a freshman, decent sophomore, got hurt, and then last year wasn't great. I think that might be my answer if that counts.
All right. Because
I think he's been the most consistent guy they've had. I think there's a chance he could have 40 or 50 catches, 6-7 touchdowns, something like that. I think he could have a breakout year. Toafili too. Now we got to see how they're going to use him. what role he's used in, but he might be a guy too.
Yeah, that's interesting. I wonder what we'll be talking about with him when it comes like October, November. I
agree because of the way we've watched practice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It's been a little interesting there. Now, don't get the wrong idea. Toafili is playing. He's out on the field. He's doing things. It'll be interesting to see what his role actually is this season, his returning freshman season. But, yeah, we'll know better by October, I guess. In defense, I don't know. Who would you say on defense?
But that's, I think, the funny thing. I mean, I don't know if Jermaine Johnson would count, but I think Briggs is a guy that you think could break out. Mako Dotson's a guy I think you could break out.
Well, we can be honest, right? Like, everybody on the defense would count. Nobody's had a season that you'd be like, oh, nobody's had a good season at Florida State, any of those guys.
That's just DJ Lundy being DJ Lundy, y'all. With seven tackles in the front.
That's what Lundog does. So any of those guys would qualify. But Briggs is the guy that kind of comes to mind right away just because I expect it would. Jermaine Johnson, I don't know. I guess he would qualify, but I guess I'd answer Briggs.
And then what one player on the defense are you excited to see play or have a dynamically phenomenal role?
Dynamically phenomenal. I like
Jermaine. That. If not Jermaine, then if Amari could play the way he looks.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing. That would be amazing. I would root for that hard. All right, we're hitting the top of the hour. Let's take some of these final ones and then be on our way out here. Rob Krause gives us some programming. UAB Jacksonville State in a half hour. Good chance to do some advanced scouting on the Gamecocks.
Good thinking, Rob.
Thanks,
Rob.
My
kid today, Brady's like, can I stay up tonight to watch the Ohio State-Minnesota game? And I'm like, what? He goes, yeah, Ohio State-Minnesota are playing tonight.
Really?
I'm like, Brady, there's no way they're playing tonight. He goes, I promise you they are. They're playing. I'm like, it's Wednesday. He goes, I know, playing tonight. And sure enough, it's tomorrow night.
Oh, okay.
He's like, I was wrong. I'm sorry. I'm like, yeah, man, Ohio State's not playing on a Wednesday.
Joshua Parker says 31-28 walk-off field goal.
Jason Parker.
What did I say? Jordan Parker?
I thought you said Joshua Parker.
Joshua might have. Jason, I'm sorry. I saw
Joshua. Either way, Jason deserves our respect.
Jason, I'm so sorry. Jason, I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, come on. He didn't mean that. Hey, man, that would be great if Fitzgerald bangs through a 46-yarder to win it at the Horn. I might do, if they beat Notre Dame on a walk-off field goal, I might do the post-game wrap-up shirtless.
Oh, okay.
Do you think we get more viewers or less viewers?
More.
Probably, right? At least for the gawking of it for a little while, right? And to get all the screenshots so they can make memes out of it.
We need a way to break into the female market. I can't think of a better way than
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Just this right here.
Dan Squatch says he'll gobble up a bowl of 5 wins this year if we can quit unforced errors, pre-snap penalties, and look halfway like you got some heart and want to. Don't be that 6. Come on, it's 6.
Yeah, but look, man. Yeah, I think Dan probably speaks for at least a portion of the fan base. That's like they know the win total isn't going to be what they're used to, and it's not going to be, it's not going to be something you can survive the long haul at Florida State with. But if they just get all the dumb stuff out of the way, you can live. It's not going to be a good season either way, or a great season, I should say. So if you just look like you've been coached and you don't do the dumb stuff and you do play, you don't give up when you're down in the third quarter, the second quarter, those are strides being made. Not Carl Lewis strides, but they're strides.
I like Carl Lewis strides. Good one. All right. Chris from Perry, even though he's not bringing barbecue for us because he's got a dove hunt this weekend. Question for both of us. Favorite player and coach interviewed this offseason? FYI, I'm cooking on Sunday.
Oh.
For us? Or for
what does that mean? Or is he just cooking you cook every day, don't you?
Yeah, that's right. All right. Favorite player, Jarvis Brownlee. I really like Jarvis. I know I haven't been bullish on Jarvis Brownlee's ability as a football player, but talking to him, I could listen to him talk. He's Preacher Man. He's like Preacher Man from Friday Night Lights, man. I love the spirit in his voice when he talks, like the conviction and the belief that he has in his ability and his teammates. So I would say him. And favorite coach, probably Kenny. I like Kenny, man. Kenny's cool.
Yeah. It'd be cool to have a Kenny's Corner, like a 30-minute a week Kenny's Corner, where he really just like he's got a little Jimbo in him, a little more articulate. Not that Jimbo's dumb, just the way he explains things is a little more articulate. He certainly hasn't proven to be as good an offensive coach as Jimbo. We'll see if that happens, but it's like you can wind him up and he'll talk for 20 minutes straight with one answer. which is cool. Those are fun guys to listen to because they're really passionate about what they're talking about. Those were good answers. You took my answers.
I'd rather hang out with Coach Yak and Coach Atkins, though. But the interview, if I got to interview somebody, Kane knows how to switch it on for the cameras.
Okay, right.
Mm-hmm. David and Alex, that'd be my crew. That's who I'd roll out with. All right, James B says he's leaving, so that means that we can all leave. By the way, Super Grande Films predicts that Akeem Dent's going to do better than expected now that he moved to safety, which is what he used to play in high school. So, all right, that's cool.
Amen
Carol,
to that.
Carol, like your answer, Corey, to her question.
You got it, Carol.
All right, good grief. All the people that we have to thank. We don't have to. I mean, I want to. William McMillan, thank you. Get Down or Lay Down, thank you very much. Eric Angel, we appreciate you. Ed, James B, Josh Corbs, Jason Parker,
JP,
Mark, Rob Rathbun, Ray Pereira, $500 he gave us. Shane Kirkley, $300. I mean, I shouldn't do it that way, but I mean, good grief. We appreciate all of it, for real, obviously. Hit the thumbs up on the way out. We'll get to the remaining Renegade Express questions for the Friday. No, we still have 2 more shows. No, we got 1 more show.
Yeah, one more,
keep
buddy.
up, man. I'm all confused. Corey, I can't wait to see you. I can't wait to see everybody Saturday. We still have more shows to go. Jeff Cameron's got a show coming up 1 to 3 p.m. for you all on Thursday, so tune into that. We'll be out at practice Thursday. It's the last time we can speak coach and the players before the big game. I will ask, somebody will ask, I'm sure, who the starting quarterback is. Maybe he'll tell us. He probably won't, but go to warchant.com to find out why he doesn't. Corey, love you, man. Say goodbye for us, please.
Love everyone. I love everyone.